Good afternoon all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, January 8th. We are looking at the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And, no we're not, we were looking at the triple Qs. I apologize. But, regardless of what we're looking at, we go out with a price probe in both the triple Qs and the SPY and the ES. We make new highs in every indice except the Dow today. So even the transports joined the party. So the Dow hit their all-time high yesterday. Transports got theirs today with all the others. So all new highs in 2021. We go out with 9 wide. We go out with a price probe. Volume, 70 million. Nothing great, but not bad. Sellers tried. They tried after gapping higher. Failed. Shorts got ripped apart as we pushed down in the afternoon, only to get them all taken back and more. Let's go over all 3 indices, and then we'll start with my trades and what everything looks like going forward. So here's the Russell. IWM. We gapped higher to an all-time high. Actually, took out yesterday's low. They had a chance for an outside day down. I didn't think they were going to get it, considering we have an outside week up in the Russell. And I think in all 3 of them, I have to check the triple Qs, but certainly in the SPY, ES, and the IWM, we have outside week up. So I would have been quite surprised if we had an outside day down. They had single prints that got filled. They go out 8 wide only. Actually 7 wide, not counting N. They do have an afternoon rally high in G period. Triple Qs, gap higher, fill the gap. They actually acted the best out of all of us, because they only got into yesterday's range by a little bit, got to M's low. Rejected out of yesterday's range. They only traded it 4 times and then go out. They go out with, I believe, 10 wide? 10 wide and a price probe. Very nice. For us, sellers had a real opportunity here. We gapped all-time high, fill the gap, come down to that very visual park yesterday, and then even get more out of it in H&I as they take the trend day back from yesterday. Lowest accepted price from yesterday started eating away at this buy tail, but then miserably, absolutely failed on a miserable level, and trade back up, go out with a price probe, and now make another all-time high in the after hours. So triple Qs and SPY all-time highs in the overnight right now. IWM is not. As far as my trades today, so today I traded today's expiration, except for the last. No, I actually traded today's. I was going to trade Monday's, but I didn't. So let's go. A period. I said I think maybe we gapped higher. We'll see what happens at the overnight high. See if they get it. See if they front run it. They did get it, but it popped pretty good, took a pretty nice. Actually, I'm trying to think. I think I did it before we got the overnight and came back through the opening, because I added to it when it went up, came back through the opening. It turned out to be a really nice trade, the 382 puts that expired today. I call that my touchdown trade. That was probably my best trade of the day. That was a really good trade. I had some pretty good size on when we did it and came back through the opening. Then in B period, we went back and forth through the open in the first 4 time frames. B period came down, took out A's low, got involved on the short side. Once we got into M, the target was obviously going to be the POC from yesterday, very visual area. Those were the 381 puts I took, and they worked out nice. So 2 short plays in A and B. C period, start with singles. Now, we did not take out B's low right away. You know how I feel about filling singles. However, it was a large set of singles, so I didn't buy it. I didn't short it right away, but when we came up a couple times I took the 382 puts. Okay, it went up. I put them on. It came back down. The fact that the reason I kept taking them off when they came in and they were in the money is because we didn't take out B's low. If we had already taken out B's low, I was going to say, well, those single prints could hold, and I'm going to just take the put play and hold and see what happens. But that didn't happen, so every push up I shorted, especially against yesterday's high, and every pullback I got long. I covered. I didn't get long. I covered the short. Finally, it didn't look like they were going to hold. I didn't do it again. D filled the single prints. That game was over. I took a long, actually, in D, when we got above yesterday's high, 378 calls. I was like, maybe this will hold. It kept coming back and forth. I said, if we come back down below it, I'm getting out. I did. It was a small loss. Actually would have paid if I held it, but that's fine. I took it off because I said if we get acceptance back below yesterday's range, I want out, and that's what I did. H. Oh, the H period. Wow, this would have been a home run if I had taken it with better size and held on to it. When we took out G's low, we did it, but not with any kind of force just yet. And I told the guys in the room, I said, because E, F, G, and H were just hanging around the same area. Each time we made a new low in E, F, and G, we popped up pretty good. So I told the room, I said, I'd rather take the short if H comes back up against yesterday's high and A's low, which was the POC. And that's what I did, but it was a very small lot. And it came down. I actually took it back off again right around, right below G's low because we weren't getting acceleration. And then, boom, we flushed. So I watched it. I did take a short in I period when we had single prints initially. And so those are the 382 puts I took in H. I took 381 puts in I when I kept coming up, but we had the singles, and then I was taking them off as we came back down to H's low because, again, once we got back into H's range, you couldn't take it out again. But those worked out. I did that a couple of times. And then the only other, what did I do? K. I took a short in K against H's high. I said, if this market is going to hold and not start ripping higher, I think we, if we get above H's high, I have a feeling we're going to go and get the afternoon rally high, which I was using F as at the time. Well, we took out H's high, took the short off, lost on that. But again, small. I was keeping those at a very, very short leash. And then the only last trade I did was a long in M. M, once we took out F's high, it came in. I was like, this thing now, I didn't know if we were going to probe. In fact, I told the room earlier, I wouldn't doubt if L and M trade inside today's parameters, but stretch it pretty good. Obviously, that was wrong. I took a long, once we got above the opening, got above L's high, M pulled back, got long, and then I rode it up and popped, took it off right when we popped the day's high. So it turned out to be a very good day, very good week. Nice way to start the year. The market just continues to go higher. Let's go over destinations now for Monday. Upside, 381.49. M's today's high and all-time high. Now, the overnight high already, because I use N as an overnight, was 381.83 I wrote down, but it looks like it's gone higher since then. So I believe it's a little higher, but we'll figure that out come Monday morning. So we're going to have M's high as the all-time high and then an overnight high. I'm just not sure exactly what it will be. Downside, A's high, the price probe, 381.21. Then we don't have anything to 9 wide, down to 380.05. Then we don't have anything to today's low, 377.10, and yesterday's low, 375.91. So it shows you how sellers have every opportunity in the world to really try to get some push down because their destinations and reference points are so far and wide apart. I mean, there's no destinations on the upside, so that's easy. The algorithms go get it, and now they have to start making new highs to start searching out new destinations. You would think 385 would be the next big destination on the upside in SPY, right? But on the downside, we have destinations. They're far and wide apart. There's just no sellers. When this market comes in, now this might sound stupid, but it's not because there's sellers. It's because the buyers just, it's the weak longs getting out and shorts push and shorts piling in. So when we push down here, all this was whoever was long here, just like today when we filled the gap, whoever was long, we got below the opening, and then in B period, we got below it again. And I told the room, I said, if we get below B's lowest accepted price, we're going to go get the gap. And that's what we did. It's just weak longs getting it out. That's not real true selling. And all this is short selling. That's not selling. So it's amazing. And especially with destinations far and wide, you would think it would be easy for them to get. Obviously not. Let's go to the charts. Okay, monthly. One time framing up 3 months out of an inside month. Very healthy. And right now, last month's high was 374.66. So a solid $7, $6-7 above that after week 1. Weekly. Outside week up. Pretty damn bullish. We took out last week's low, filled the gap, looked like we came into balance. Boom. Right? Monday night, people are saying, oh, we have an outside week down. I said, no, we don't. Well, not only don't we have an outside week down, we have an outside week up that closed at the high of the week. Bullish. Daily. Came out of balance, right? We had a 3-day balance. Came out of it to the upside. One time framing up 3 days out of an inside day. And somebody pointed out in my room, because I fell asleep on the switch, when we pushed down today, we got within 10 cents of the 3-day balance high, which is Wednesday's high. It was a great call. Now, I didn't see it. I missed it. But he took a long against it. Beautiful play. That's what the people offer in the room. So that's where basically our low of the day was. Now, since we keep looking at Russell and Q's, let's go over their charts. Russell, I'll do this on a weekly basis only on Friday. I won't be here next Friday, though. But so Russell, monthly, look at this. One time framing up, 4 months, and 8 out of 9 months. One time framing up, healthy. Look at the distance they're getting in the Russell. Right? You know a trend is still young when you get distance away from previous highs. So everybody keeps shorting this, saying it's going too far. They're getting destroyed. Weekly. Weekly was one time framing up 10 weeks before this week took out the previous 2 weeks' lows. Wow, that's pretty bearish. We finally took out, no. Outside week up. So everybody on Monday was probably saying, we can have an outside week down. It's all over for the Russell. And we rallied, is that $19? $19 we rallied off this week's low. $19. So everybody who thought we could have an outside week down because one day doesn't make a market, my friends. We took out 2 weekly lows and rallied $19 off the low. Outside week up. Bullish. Daily. Almost had well, I shouldn't say that. They attempted to have an outside day down. Well, that failed. We almost came back and had an outside day up. So the daily is slowed down. It's a 2-day balance now. But they have gaps in the daily below. They have a gap way down in the weekly below. That's way down. Wow, 166. So the daily is in balance. The other time frames are up. And then in the triple Qs, monthly. One time framing up 3 months, just like SPY and ES out of an inside month. Bullish. Weekly. Outside week up, just like us. Bullish. Daily. One time framing up for 2 days. They actually came out of an inside day on Wednesday to the downside. That got rejected so fast it's not funny. And now we're one time framing up 2 days. Markets do not go bull bear. So for everybody out there that continues to short this market, saying it's just going too high, trade what market generated information tells you. You don't want to pick the top. You're never going to pick the top. In fact, you're going to get destroyed trying to pick the top. Wait for a market to balance before you even attempt to trade. And that's on all time frames. We talk about that. We talk about that on an intraday when the market's one time framing up with single prints. Stop trying to pick a top. Wait till you get two-sided trade where we get 3 time frames that trade sideways. At least you have something to lean on. Same when it's going down, when it's one time framing down and trending down. You know how many careers get ended trying to fade a trend day? Well, I'll tell you what. I bet you some careers are ending trying to fade the Russell, all of us right now. People trying to fade this. Not working. Let alone trying to fade stocks like Tesla and Nvidia and Netflix. It doesn't work. Markets do not go bull bear. You need balance before you even have a chance to go bear. Hope this helps. Hope you had a great day. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.